Devi Jags is a former Division I student athlete running cross country at Xavier University, but she is much more than just a runner. Devi is a storyteller, an advocate, and a survivor. Here's Jaime Maggio with more on how she's not only reclaiming her passion of running, but dedicating her life to trying to help others.
Devi, when did you start running? When did you realize this was something that you loved?
I would say I was 14. I didn't know that I was going to love it. I actually kind of resisted it for a long time. My father was a runner, and I do a lot of things that I try not to be like him, but I'm exactly like him. But it was 14 years old is when I fell in love with running.
They talk about that runner's high. I'm not a runner, so I don't know what that feels like. But what is that runner's high that people describe?
It's addicting. I mean, it's a legitimate high. There's a certain point where you get this, it's not even like this intoxicating adrenaline, it's just this euphoria. And it makes you feel valuable. And I think a lot of runners chase that over and over again.
So this passion that you find, now it's opening doors to take you to the college level and get that higher education. What happened during your college career that took that from you?
Yeah, so actually in high school, I developed an addiction to that feeling that led me to get 3 stress fractures all at once in my hip, femur, and groin, to the point where I almost lost circulation in my left leg. And I could never really get my body back, and then that's when, going into my sophomore year, I actually experienced sexual violence, and that was the complete loss in my mind of my body, and that's a really scary thing.
Devi eventually quit the team at Xavier and walked away from the sport of running. Devi's experiences at college led her to her next path in life as an entrepreneur, writer, and activist for Title IX and mental health.
I didn't need to have to experience what happened to me to be an advocate. I was always someone that was very outspoken, but through grief, I think I was able to touch into a part of myself that was always there and use what I had left to help others, but ultimately help myself.
Devi's work includes raising awareness about athletes and mental health, including a series with NBA star DeMar DeRozan. And as fate would have it, Devi's advocacy has brought her life full circle, and she's currently training for the Chicago Marathon.
I had the opportunity to join the Army of Survivors, which is an organization that does education, awareness, and policy reform for athletes who have experienced violence. Yeah, I became a board director with them, and they had open bids under their charity bids to run the Chicago Marathon, and I was like, oh, maybe this is a sign that I need to do this. No one was forcing me, but I didn't feel like I got the kind of closure that I originally wanted when I walked away for the team.
What does this marathon represent to you?
It represents having a healthy relationship with running again, and it represents helping other athletes, especially women who tend to drop out of their sport sooner than men, that they don't have to.
As a teenager running in the Rocky Mountains, Devi coined the term sparkle to help her remind herself to keep pushing.
Your sparkle is your happiness, passion, and self-worth, and your friends, your family, your creative pursuits, your sport, your career, they can all make up that sparkle. And I can't live authentically and shine brightly if I am not at least finishing this chapter on my terms.